Hello and welcome. This is Coolidge. It's come to my attention that some people don't know how to play this game. I can't imagine why. Possibly it's extremely complicated and scary. Um, so what I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to be doing a Let's Play Castile, but also kind of talking about the game, especially at the first part. We'll see if we continue with it. So, Castile. Castile's right here, and it becomes Spain later. Up here you can have different map modes, and you can pick one. You can pick a country just like that. That's all fairly straightforward. I'm going to play an Ironman mode. That's the only way to play. Not even for the achievements, just because it stops you from wanting to cheat. You can just, go back to a previous autosave. You can see, like this one. I was playing Byzantium. I wasn't cheating, honestly. What the fuck is this? Oh, 14. I thought that was an L. It makes more sense now. The reason why was because Steam was down. So I was just playing. I did that on that one. In this particular playthrough, I went after the Ottomans first. Because I think... Yeah. Oh, whatever. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that at all. We're playing Castile. Now, Castile is one of the 3 countries recommended for beginners. I already have a playthrough with the Big Boo Blob, so I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do Ottomans. And, well, Castile is nice because it's a colonizer, so we can get into some colonization game. We can showcase a lot of different things with Castile. So why don't we just get started? I might already have one saved. Oh shit. I have so many. I don't know how to get rid of these. I think it'll probably ask me to get rid of one soon. It's asked me before. Actually, one sec. Had to start my timer thing on my other screen. Okay, so Castile. Well, first let's just get acquainted with the screen. Over here you're gonna see things like diplomats. You're gonna see a lot of different things. The outliner can go in and out there, and you can select any number of things. I apologize for how it just jumps up. I bought this mouse. It was, like $60, or maybe more than that. And and it was like a year ago. And recently, when I pulled down on the roller, it starts going inward like that. When I pull towards me, it should be zooming out, and pulling in should be going away from me. It zooms in, and going away works fine, but it's just annoying. I have to find my receipt to get an RMA for it. Anyway, you can add provinces. You can just jump to them. The thing is, you'll just get a ton of them, and it's not very useful. I think when you first start playing, it is selected though. These other things are fairly interesting. I have human players just because if I play multiplayer, I want to see them, and so I just don't even worry about it. So anyway, I have two armies, one with 1,000 men and one with 20,000 men. I have two merchants, and we'll talk about that later. And I've got a couple navies. So that's up there. The date is November 11th, which is the day after everybody. I think you can see from this holds it. Oh no, it doesn't do that in this game. I'm thinking of another game. Well, anyway, all these guys have truces with the Ottomans. It's because it was the King of Poland just died, like yesterday. They don't have a king. The Battle of Varga was on November 10th, and the Ottomans won. So anyway, so we're over here, and that's that. Down here, you can just see a few different things. Like, you know, today I learned about this stuff, I guess, which is part of Novgorod, and they are just these, yeah, whatever. I don't really care. But it'll give you those types of information. You can filter different types of messages, and you can have all these different things. Like, so I'm interested in a number of countries. Granada, Austria, Navarra, Portugal. Yeah. Probably also I should be interested in France. Yeah, best guess. Not that I don't really pay that much attention to that, but so those are my two, you know, all my neighbors I'm interested in. I'm interested in my more important neighbor, France, and then Austria, because Austria is the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. And we can do Spain's the emperor in this one. I usually do when I play Castile. Well, anyway, so that's that. Down here there is a map. It now is it doesn't show things that you can't see. Before it showed everything, but they added the Americas can be randomized. I tend to not really like that. This terrain, I usually just keep it on the political map mode, even though I feel like the colors are too bright, but it's all right. The trade map mode. The trade map mode. So these are. I wish it wouldn't show me that. These are all the different trade nodes, and basically everything in this green area here, in the Sevilla trade node. If I have buildings in trade, they, you know, as you can see there, it says local trade power +1. This type of stuff gets added into your trade power here. Portugal right now is the one that has all the trade power, or a lot of the trade power in this particular node. Obviously Spain is both in Bordeaux and Sevilla. However, as you can see, these lines, trade propagates in the way along the lines. So I'm collecting from trade in Bordeaux, and I am also collecting from trade here. And the reason is because I can't propagate it backwards to here. So you can have merchants transfer trade power that push trade. As you can see, 126 goes that way, and 0.27 goes that way. And when you propagate trade, so 0.27 goes that way from that node, 0 comes from that node, and 0.11 comes from that node, and 0 comes from that node. Those are the only things going into Sevilla. If I look at this one, it says that, and then it adds some extra value. I guess it's not really that much value added. I think once it gets higher, it starts really increasing the amount of value. So you can you're over here, the Gulf of Aden, propagating to Alexandria, to Tunis, to and then to Sevilla, or up to Genoa, and then over to Sevilla. I mean, you can do those different things. Sevilla is an end node. Nothing comes out of it anymore. The same as Venice and Antwerp. And so, like, all the trade, just you want to funnel it here. You always want to collect from the trade where your capital is, or you always, yeah, that's, and they're changing that in the next expansion. So you also have a capital, trade capital. So if I wanted to, if I had a sprawling empire, I could have my capital of Constantinople, and I could collect in Venice. Let's say I wanted to do that, because I wanted to just push everything from Constantinople up to Venice, and that'll give me better trade. That'll give me more money that way. It's kind of hard to explain at the beginning of the game, because you can't really see. There's not much going on with trade at the beginning of the game. Well, they added trade winds recently, which trade winds, they go that way. Anyway, so that's that. The Imperial map mode. So Austria, like I said, is the emperor, and the HRE was a elective monarchy, and when it was established, Austria was left out. However, they had so much dominance that they became the emperor anyway. They forged the document, which they in real life they forged the document in 1350 or something, whenever the Golden Bull established the elective monarchy of the Holy Roman Empire was established. But in the game, you, as Austria, you have a decision to do that, and that changes your country from a kingdom to, or a feudal monarchy, to an archduchy, which gives you some additional bonuses. The dark green are people that are not electors. The medium green is electors. So Austria here, I mean, they obviously just need to have a majority, and they can win. I've done Spain as the emperor before, and I did it without actually vassalizing. I just generally what you'll do is you'll see this guy Mainz here. He's small. I somehow get a reason to go to war with him. I go to war with him, and then I make him my vassal. And by making him my vassal, he will vote for me. Actually, maybe I did make him vassals. I'm trying to remember. Can't remember. Well, oh well. Same with Cologne. The Palatinate has got 2 provinces here and here. But you go for these small electors, and you vassalize them. That'll give you a... So you can see, why they wouldn't vote for me. Not a member of the HRE, -50. You get -50 from all the other electors for each elector you control. So if I was to control Mainz here, I would get, and everything else was equal, these would all be 181, -181. Well, that one would be -167. So And then if I controlled 2, then it would be minus 231. Anyway, but it doesn't matter, because if you get your relations up with your 3 vassals to the point where you are now the emperor, then you can start, you know, adding new provinces to the empire. You could add your own to the empire. It works out pretty well. Anyway, so yeah, it starts off. Oh, and these are, Venice is not in the empire, and it's held by this territory is held by a country that's not in the empire. Burgundy, Barrios, and Teutonic Order. Yeah. So those guys hold them. The emperor has a CB, causes belli to go against him. He usually doesn't, but anyway, this isn't too interesting. So Catholic. Right now, it's all Catholic. These provinces here are Catholic. Or, I'm sorry, they're Orthodox, but the state religion is Catholic. These provinces here, the state religion is Sunni, but they are Catholic, or they are they are Orthodox. So that's what the striped lines are representing. That the religion in the province is different than the religion of the country. Diplomatic map mode. So, this guy. So France here starts off with the war with England, so it's red. They have vassals, which are, and also, well, vassals are typically a blue color, but since they're at war, they're allies in the war, and so then they are, this isn't a vassal actually, but they are allied in the war against England, and so everyone is dark green. Things that are stripy green are provinces that France considers to be part of its own nation. And that's this core stuff, and we can talk about that in a bit. And, you know, that's what, you know, France is saying, this is part of what France is. Which is true. I mean, it's, if you think about it, these are all, I mean, that's what France is, you know, here today. Well, and Brittany. And I usually have this open because the mini-map isn't that useful, to be honest. It's only useful, it was useful before when you could kind of roughly say, go over here to Cuba or something, or here to Cuba. But now you can't do that. So I don't find it particularly useful. But if I click one without having that locked, it goes away. But if I lock it, okay, so opinions. Obviously this is a heat map. Portugal, they like me a lot because we're historical friends. Aragon, we're the same dynasty, but they're going to end up immediately becoming my rival, I'm sure. Coalitions, these are, I don't think there's not any coalitions at the start. It's a heat map of, it'll turn red as members get in a coalition against you, which is some form of, it's a form of alliance that basically is only against a particular person or a particular country. Regions. So this has to do with the coring thing. This country, Guyane, used to exist. It's dark gray and it no longer exists. In 150 years, because it's the same, it's the same culture group as this area, right? Or is this the culture? Oh no, it's the culture. What am I talking about? Region. Then what's the point of this region? well, whatever. I guess the region is more for... Sometimes you'll get quests to say, like, own all of the Spanish Netherlands, or all of the Low Countries, or the Spanish Netherlands. And that's what it is. I'll just tell you what it is. What I started actually talking about was this, which is the culture groups. These are all French. These are all Iberian. You know, makes sense. English, Scottish. Oh, these are all British. These are Irish. Or Celtic. You know, and they have subgroups. So these are all French, and they all have subgroups. So, what was I saying? This one, it's the same culture group as Aquitaine, and so it will lose it in 150 years. Yeah. Where's a French one? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, faux. Okay. So, no. Oh, Norman here. So even though the basic French culture is cosmopolitan, even though it should be French, Norman is in the same culture group, and because it's in the same culture group, this core will last for at least 150 years. So there's a lot of cores that are going to go away on the 11th of November, 1594. There's also other ones that if there's cores outside of the culture group, I think it's 100 years they go away. And having a core on a province, like Byzantium does, they have a lot of them. I think these are all Greek. Greek. Yep. They're all Greek, so I'm not gonna... Oh, no, that's not... Oh well. Just trust me. It's like 100 years. And well, anyway, those cores, those give you reasons to go to war. Casus belli. So anyway, sphere of influence. You gotta like select the country and then select the sphere. This is gonna show me like everything that I have, like all my vassals and everything. Right now, obviously, it's just this. Revolts, green's good. Colonial map mode. This is showing me where I can colonize. I can colonize. Let's pretend I could colonize here. It would be green, and I'd be able to see it. But right now, there's nowhere to colonize. Economic map mode. This is dark green is okay. This other green. This is another reason why to play Castile. The production in this is so huge because they're producing gold, and so bright green is the best. You can see these incomes, these yellows, they're okay, but there's only a couple provinces, and we'll show them right in a second. I'll just keep on going I'll describe these map modes. Manpower. I never look at this. It's kind of silly. Technology. This is something I look at a lot. So everyone right now is just at 333. But obviously that will change. Trade value. I guess there's no trade value in this node. I guess. So it's purple? Huh. Well, like I said, there's hardly any trade going on. Alexandria has some, but basically nothing at the beginning of the game. This turns all sorts of colors later. Supply limit. This is important for your troops. If I was to move my troops here, you can see it says supply limit 15, but with this it's a weight of 20, and I would start just getting attrition, and people will die because it can only support 15,000 men. It can't support 20,000 men in this province. Technology increases that to be able to support more men in provinces, etc., etc. So you can have bigger doom stacks. Buildings. Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever even used this one before. Okay, so the max I'm fully maxed out on buildings. Because there's no buildings I can build. Missionaries can't go anywhere if, it's all Catholic, so there's me. Accepted cultures. So Andalusian is an accepted culture, and it's green. It's and then these ones are also accepted because they are in the same culture group. But this one, okay. So Andalusian makes up a sizable minority of my population. Sizable enough that they are accepted as being Castilian, or they are accepted in my country of Castile. Galatian, on the other hand, while they're Iberian, they're still not quite us. So we get this local modifiers. And we can go over to these guys. Go to accepted culture. Yeah, here. So Greek is oh no, it's accepted by them. Come on, somebody, anybody. I guess Greek would, is Greek accepted? It is. Oh, I think I saw one. Yes. Okay, so this is in Poland, and they have this Ruthenian culture there that's not accepted as part of Poland, and so that increases revolt risk, lowers tax. It's harder for missionaries to do their job. You get less troops from that, and you can spend a bunch of monarch points, diplo points, to change that. But it's almost never. I almost never do it because I'm always starved for those points. Winter's map mode. So this is telling you, that they're experiencing severe winter, mild, normal, severe, and that changes the attrition value. So if I was to say move to these mountains, the supply limit's only 12 here, and that is in part because of the winter. The climate, this is in arid. There's more attrition. People don't want to move there. These are all they don't have anything. Arctic, more attrition. People don't want to live there. It's not as bad as arid though. The colonial regions. This is we'll see that later. They made it so you can turn into the 13 colonies, and you can turn into New Spain and Brazil, things like that. Trade goods in map mode. Okay, so trade goods map mode. The reason, so I'm making gold. Austria, also a good country to start with because they're making gold. Morocco actually also makes gold. And so does Georgia and Kazan. At the start of the game, that's where we're making gold. Gold gives a production of 40. I think it's like 40. Yeah, well, 43.2. Yeah, same. They get a little less, but so you get so much money from this. As you can see, like, you know, this production here is not that much. Now there are buildings to increase all these productions, and things like that. There's also unique. There's special buildings that you'll see here. So, you know, for wool, I can get a textile manufactory. It's 500 ducats, 10 admin points, and it just increases goods produced by 100%. Just, and you know, that's good for a number of reasons. Getting money, but also these give benefits if you're the #1 trader in that. And federations, that's a Native American thing. Oh, and gold does, though, increases inflation by 0.1 for each of your provinces with gold in them. Because, you know, that's to try to balance that out, so you're going to have to reduce inflation every once in a while. Okay, that's going to conclude this because it went over in time. And when we come back, we'll start talking about this whole thing that I flip around in constantly, and these drop downs and things like that. So thanks for watching. Bye.